Do you want to earn more money? Probably, right? Well, you're in the right place. So I'm going to give you 4 different scenarios, one of which you are definitely in, and regardless of which one you're in, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to earn more money. Now, if that sounds good to you, drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll let you know as soon as I upload a new video about that particular scenario. So let's just get right into it. Now, first of all, why do I say earn money and not make money? Because making money is something that doesn't require you to add any value to anything. Making money is essentially manufacturing paper money, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about earning money, which means that you have to do something that is valuable to somebody else or to some other company in order for them to pay you. So what are these 4 different scenarios? Now, I'm going to go through them step by step. And the reason that I'm going to go through them is because I'm actually experienced in all 4 of these areas, and I've already conquered making more money in each of these 4 areas. So the first one is, if you are a salesperson and you want to earn more money, you want to earn more commissions, how do you do that? Might seem really common sense, but simply sell more. Whatever it is you're selling, sell more of it. Great. How? So on a very high level, you can go to your existing clients and upsell them. That's one way. The other way is to cross-sell. Another way is to work smarter. What does that mean, work smarter? That means, depending on what your conversion rate is. So, for example, if your closing rate is 80%, so for every 10 prospects or potential clients that are sitting in front of you, you actually are able to sign 8 of them. And you know that this is a consistent number for you. So you have an 80% closing rate. In that scenario, then the only thing you need to do is increase the number of people that you see. How do you do that? By working smarter. What does working smarter mean? Finding a way to reach more people faster. How do you do that? So you can hire a virtual assistant. There are so many really great websites where you can hire people for $7, $8 an hour. You give them a script or you give them an email template, and you let them find the contacts, even if you don't have the exact contacts. Let them set up the meetings for you. I can even give you some very simple, very effective email meeting request scripts that really, really work. So it's just about meeting more people faster, and that's what I mean by working smarter. So that's if you're a salesperson. If you're a salesperson and that sounded good to you, drop a comment below. I'd love to know if you're a salesperson. The second scenario that you can make money in is if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner. Of course, if you own your own business, you want to increase revenues. That's probably the number one thing that any business owner wants to do. How do you do that? One of the most effective ways to do that, especially if you're a startup and you don't have large marketing budgets, is to form collaborations with very large companies that are already in the market, that have a very large database, have a very large audience. But how do you form collaborations if you're a small company and you're trying to partner with a really big company? Well, there's a couple things you need to be able to do this. The first thing is you need to have something. Your business needs to be something that is valuable and interesting to not only the bigger business, but their customers, so that they are happy to introduce your business to their customers. The second thing is you need to be able to communicate and get a hold of these companies and elaborate intelligently why they should even sit down with you in the first place. So you can have a really, really great product or service, but if you don't know how to communicate that correctly, or if you're not talking to the right person, then it's not going to matter, because you're going to lose a lot of opportunities with big companies. So if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, I'd love to know in the comments below. Let me know and I'll make some more videos on that in a lot more detail on how you can actually reach more companies and form these collaborations. The third scenario where you can make more money is if you are an employee. So if you work in really almost any company and really in almost any position. So if you are an accountant, if you work in HR, if you are in the training division, if you are in the medical field, really in any company, and as an employee, you can negotiate a higher salary, higher benefits, and even commission in some cases. But how do you do that? Well, the most important thing is that before you can ask for any of these things, you have to show value. And this has turned into kind of a cliche. Oh, show value, you have to bring value to the market. I hate cliches, but it's true. You have to show value. So what does that mean? In simple terms, that means that you have to offer something and you have to become almost irreplaceable. I'm going to say that again. You have to become irreplaceable. And that is what is going to give you leverage when you go to negotiate a higher salary or additional benefits or additional commission. If I, as an employee, am producing the same amount of output or revenue or productivity that everybody else is producing in my department, I have very little leverage. I have very little anything to request a higher salary. Because if I leave, almost anybody else can replace me. No big deal. But if my work, if this is the team and then my work is actually producing this, and I go and I ask for more money, I'm probably going to get it, because if I leave, this is painful now for the company. And the company wants to avoid pain, just like human beings want to avoid pain. But companies want to avoid pain from a financial perspective. They don't want me to leave because I produce the most money, or I save them the most money, or I bring the most value in many different ways. And to replace me is going to be very, very difficult and painful. So if you're an employee, comment below. I'll make some more videos on that in more detail on how you can show value. Let me know what type of department you work in or what your position is, and I'll give you some tips on that, and then also how to negotiate and when is the right time to negotiate a higher salary and benefits, and how you can even get commission in positions that you might think, I can't really get commission in this position. You would be surprised. The fourth scenario is if you are, let's say, any of these or none of these. So the fourth scenario is for anybody. And that scenario is identify a skill that you have that other people or businesses need. And ideally that the market is not saturated with already. So I'll give you my example. My specialty is sales. I have a lot of sales experience, but not only experience, I have a track record of constantly being #1 in sales in almost every company I've worked in. And so I can take that experience, and I have, and I've formulated training courses where I then go and I train other companies on how they can increase their own sales. Now, do you think that's a powerful tool? Do you think that's an in-demand service for companies? Of course. What's the #1 thing that companies and people want to do? They want to increase their income. They want to increase their revenue. I happen to have a skill that helps people do that. And so, when you find what your skill is, or maybe you already know what your skill is, and maybe you do it for a company, but now you want to go off on your own and do it. When you identify what that skill is, you need to put a price tag on it. How do you put a price tag on it? Well, you need to know your market. You need to know what other people, if you have competition, what are they charging? And then you need to price yourself accordingly, either higher or lower or about the same. It really depends on a few factors, and we'll get into that in a video specifically about this. But you need to put a price on it. And then you need to market yourself. And that is very important. So these are the 4 scenarios that you can make more money. If you are a salesperson, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an employee, or if you're anybody that wants to make money. Identify a new skill, put a price tag on it, go market it. So if you liked this video, just drop a like, let me know that. Subscribe to my channel, and I will let you know as soon as I post a new video. And let me know what videos you like from what we talked about today.